Hi guys, hello YouTube. This week's retro games is Dragonquest, the original one. If you're in America, you might know this as Dragon Warrior. You might notice that my voice is a bit fancy. That's because I've got a new headset. It's not a new headset, it's a different headset. It's not as good, even though it's the more expensive one. And so that's why my voice is a bit funny. You also might notice the video is going super fast while the music is not quite lining up to the video. And that's because a lot of people have been leaving me feedback saying, you need a shorter time, because your videos are too long and therefore I don't give a shit about them. And that's fair enough. I can understand that. As a YouTube watcher myself, I know it's certainly difficult to watch a 20-minute video. So as such, we're going to aim for 10 minutes or so. Probably about 9, we'll see how we go. And so this will be shorter, but that means that there's a lot less, like I can't dilly-dally, I have to get through the whole video and still be entertaining, but also be educational and say the things I want to say. In this case, it's very difficult for this game. So this is Dragonquest, the original one. Like I said, if you're in America, you might know it as Dragon Warrior. You can see it's been inspired somewhat by Zelda, right? The style is very Zelda-based, and you'll see that Final Fantasy was inspired by this. This is made by the same guys who make Final Fantasy and so on, which is Enix. Enix is a really interesting company, and how this video game came to be made is a very interesting story because it's got a lot of really cool dudes involved. Now, let's start from the beginning. It starts with a competition, right? They're like, hey guys, we're looking for some designers to come and design games for us. Oh man, this guy, get out of the fucking way. What a nugget. Okay, there we go, we're out. Alright, so, so they're like, hey guys, we're looking for people to come design new stuff for us for this brand new gaming system called the Famicom, which you might know as NES, if you're not from Japan. And, it's going to be a home entertainment system. It's going to be a big thing. But we need some programmers for it, right? Now this guy, his name was, let me not butcher his name, I probably will butcher the name, it was Yuji Horii. And he used to be a guy who worked at Show and Jump, right? The place that made games. And he and a bunch of his buddies entered some games, and the winner would get 1,000,000 yen and possibly a contract with them, right? With this Enix company, which formerly was a magazine company. And then decided they wanted to get their hand in on this whole crazy, computer game business. So anyway, this Horii guy decides that he's going to go in and he enters a bunch of games and stuff. And he had made a lot of games for PC and Mac, which were mostly adventure games, right? And you can see, not puzzle games, like text-based adventures. Hey, slimes. Okay, so Dragonquest. Slime is like, if you think Dragon Quest, you think these cute little slime guys. I love them. It's one of my favourite things about the game, little slimes. They're so cute! Here's another one! Anyway, there'll be lots of slimes. It is Dragon Quest. So, so where was I? So he made a lot of, text adventure games, right? They were like mystery puzzle type things, right? But he also played a lot of games on the Mac. One of the series that he played was called Wizardry, which was sort of like a Dungeons and Dragons text-based adventure, and it was really hard for, back in the day, you guys don't understand, I'm sure, especially my students who are quite young, back in the day, it was really hard to get a hold of good games, because you had to, program them yourself on the computer, or if they were pre-programmed, you had to know the commands to make it work or whatever. So you couldn't just press a button and have a list come up. You had to type in check the floor or whatever, like we just did there. Anyway, so he wanted to make a game like Wizardry, but also with the same sort of story elements designed into it, like his mystery games, and he'd do that by making it more open to the public, so they'd understand. You didn't need to know the esoteric programming languages and stuff to make it happen, right? And that's what this whole game was all about. It's like, can we do a fantasy role-playing game for the masses? Now, here's the other thing. This was made in 1986, the same year that I was made in. Thanks, Mum and Dad, for working so hard designing me. And at that time, the home industry hadn't really taken off that great. This is obviously a SNES port for this game, but originally it came out on Famicom, right? So it was, you know, a time when the money was being made in arcades. You know, put your quarter in the machine or whatever. And he was like, you know, there's no way people are gonna, you know, keep paying to play this. But one of the advantages with the Famicom is that, you know, people don't have to pay to keep playing. So you can have a lengthy story, which, you know, if you get killed by a ghost or whatever, it's not a big drama. You'll be all good. You know, and you can sort of save it and move along and tell a bigger story, which up until this point, you know, they really didn't have that much. Even Zelda was, you know, not so much about, like, the long-term progression. It was still quite a short-term, like, you can beat that game in a couple of hours if you know what you're doing, right? But this game, you can't do it. Most of it is spent by talking to these villagers, you know, we're in this town here. So much of the story is asking the villagers what's going on, and, you know, listening to the little pieces of clues to find out where you have to go next, and all the rest of it, right? We might do a playthrough later on, you know, once I know a bit more about this game, because I absolutely love these Dragonquest stuff, even though I came late to the game. Anyways, this guy's like, how can we make it so it's popular for everyone? We can expand it out, because they're not going to be spending money on it, so we can have as big a storyline as we like. We can give little clues. We can make it be a bit more subtle, right? This guy telling me where the princess is, for instance, is a great example of that subtlety, right? Somewhere in the east. Go check out the east, right? So, and it's like, okay, so now how else can we get people involved? So like I said, he used to work at Show and Jump. He knew this guy called Akira Toriyama. Yeah, Akira Toriyama, you might know him as the dude who made Dragon Ball. Right? Now, if you look at the front cover of this game, you know, the dragon on the cover is actually in Dragon Ball. Like, he's one of the characters in that. So this game definitely was inspired by and helped to inspire the Dragon Ball side of things, you know, from Akira Toriyama, who is an amazing artist, and I absolutely love his style, but that could just be because I grew up with Dragon Ball. Anyway, so he's done all this stuff, right, and he's brought it together. He's made this very visual game, very fun to play game, with a cool storyline. Oh, look, you can walk on the mountains. That's totally cool. So, like, yeah, you've got this game that exists, you know, and it's using that style of Zelda, but it's using the D&D components of other, you know, wizardry and stuff like that, and bringing it all together, the turn-based game style of wizardry, and yeah. Anyway, I'm coming up with about 1 minute left to go here or there. We've got this scorpion. He's probably going to beat the crap out of me if my memory is right of how I played this game before. Yep, there we go. I'm going to run away. So yeah, that's what this game was all about. I don't know that I've done a great job with this video. This is also the 4th time I've gone through because of this stupid headset. But please do let me know how I'm going. How are you liking the shorter format? You know, what else can we do? I think I'm going to play this game through when I know a little bit more about this game and how to actually play it and where to go and stuff like that, because this is a really cool game. It's really cool looking and it's pretty fun. Yeah, thanks to everyone who's following me. Thanks to my Twitter friends. I apologize for this game. There you go, I've died in battle. He didn't say died there, that's interesting. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.